What is going on, guys? Merijn here and welcome to today's video. I've been home one day from Texas now, was able to catch up a little bit on sleep, and now it is time for something epic that is going on today. Before we get the day started, we want to make sure that we are prepared. So I'm basically prepping some meals here for the weekend. I've got some chicken here with some peas, and then here I got a low-fat hamburger. I'm going to cook these up as well. Macros on this are so solid. 5 grams of fat and 19 grams of protein, and super delicious. Alright guys, so we are in the car on our way to Defqon 1. We got Veronica, we got Stan, the fucking man, and you guys are probably like, oh my god, is he gonna party again in this vlog? And that is right, but this was actually planned for months already, okay? So I was definitely like, I definitely wasn't gonna go if it wasn't planned. Because I do still feel like jet lag, didn't get too much sleep, but I am freaking pumped for today because I've actually been looking out for this for months right now because it's gonna be epic. We're not even going for one day, we're gonna go for the whole weekend. All right, and this is basically because Willem invited us with this idea, and so we're all gonna have an amazing time for 2 days. We're gonna stay in a little cabin or whatever it is. We're gonna find out really soon. They are already there because they were also there on Friday, right? Willem had to play on Friday and then also on Sunday, so it's gonna be lit. Today is gonna be his day off, so today we're actually gonna like fully enjoy the festival.
Who that?
The big man. Looks like he had a rough day already.
Goedemorgen.
Goedemorgen.
Lekker.
Hey.
How you doing? Ta-da, we're back. The family is reunited.
Oh yeah. Making gains before hitting the festival. And it even seems like the weather is cheering up. Sun. Tower of chicken. Got the bottles there.
The balance.
Salad. The balance is real. Good morning, guys. It is a new day. As you can see, Stan is definitely out. Feels like life is over. We got breakfast here. Day 2, guys. For you guys, it's been day 3 now. Oh, yesterday was epic. It was my first time at Defqon. And what was your favorite part of the day?
Favorite part of
For
the
me,
day?
it was being in the crowd together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was magical. That's the full-blown Defqon 1 experience that I, as an artist, don't often get because I'm always on the other side.
And it was cool that like people really respected Willem.
Yeah, I could just like, you know, be part of the crowd without getting, you know, having to take pictures all the time because people totally understood that we just wanted to
so cool.
enjoy for a moment and party. Yeah.
back from Defqon. It's a couple days later now, and I'm still super overly excited about the whole weekend because it was absolutely amazing. I feel like I'm always saying that everything was absolutely amazing. Is there anything, Merijn, that is not absolutely fucking amazing? There is not. Everything is absolutely amazing. Life is good. You gotta like keep that mindset in there. Now at the festival I got this question a couple times, and like in general, like in my comments and like just a lot of times in general, is that how do you actually eat like when you have a festival like this? How do you make sure you do not lose your gains? And a lot of people have that issue with their diet, like they don't know what to do. And the first thing that is very important here for me to answer your question is whether you are at the festival, whether you are sober there, whether you are drinking alcohol, or whether you are using some other substance, right? And that is kind of a taboo, but it is a big thing. That's just a fact. There are obviously a lot of different substances, so I'm not gonna like go into all of them. But that is just like a different category. It is important to know because your diet actually has to change towards what you decide to do. Because if you're going sober, first of all, not that much on your diet actually changes. When you're at the festival, it is obviously kind of hard to hit your protein. So what I always say is like make sure you get in a lot of proteins before you go. Usually they have very nice food places. You can get like a hamburger, you can get a pizza, whatever it is, like a döner, a lamajun, like all the Dutch stuff. It's Turkish. Dutch people will know, that's what I meant. Broodje beenham and like all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot of nice foods, right? It doesn't matter. The point is, all those foods are nice, which at the same time means that usually they use a lot of fats, they use oils. You cannot track that shit. You do not want to track that shit. You're at a festival, you're having a good time with your friends, you're partying, you're out. You don't want to think about that, right? But you still, in my opinion, want to keep your diet a little bit in mind. To just make sure you don't do too much damage. You go to the festival, you can have some meals there and get all your fats from those meals, and that is the if it fits your macro strategy, something I always like to use. Now when you decide to drink alcohol, it's going to get a little bit more tricky. Alcohol contains calories, and those are empty calories, so you actually want to make sure that you save a lot of calories so that you can drink alcohol. Now here comes the second issue with alcohol, and that is that at festivals, usually if you're not in the VIP area, or like depends on what festival you go to as well, all the drinks are pre-mixed. I don't know if it's only like that here in the Netherlands, but that is I think like a new rule, or I don't know if it's always been like that. In clubs it's different. In clubs you can always get a vodka Diet Coke, right? But at festivals you cannot. It's all like pre-mixed in these cans, right? So it completely sucks because they don't have low caloric drink, right? The best you could possibly go for is like a gin tonic. They had those at Defqon, but I don't know how it is like all the festivals. It's always a little bit different. If you want to go for beer all day, the calories are gonna stack up like crazy, and you're almost not gonna have calories left, especially like if you go pretty hard. So what I recommend to do if you decide to drink alcohol is to make sure you have enough drinks at the pre-drinks, like before you actually hit the festival or before you go to a club. If you're just drinking alcohol because you like alcohol and you have like 2 or 3 glasses throughout the day of the festival, all good. You don't have to worry about those calories. But if you want to get a little tipsy, if you want to get wasted, what some people want, I personally don't really promote that because I'm like, you know, there's no reason to get wasted. I'm not saying I never do or I never have, because sometimes it just goes wrong, but that is never the intention. I don't think more drinks make your night better. I think the absolute opposite. So you want to, you know, make sure you're on that right level. You don't want to cross that boundary. But that all aside, I do recommend, like if your goal is to get a little tipsy or to feel good, to drink before the festival and make sure you're kind of feeling it a little bit, because then you can take your own drinks instead of use those pre-fixed drinks, right, with the sodas. You want to always mix your alcohol with diet sodas and then go for the liquors. Beer, in my opinion, is something you want to try and stay away from, unless because you like beer, you like the taste of it. Beer should never be used to get to that level, I personally think, if you're into fitness, like, because it's just like a waste of calories, to be honest. With all this said, that is what I personally would recommend, and I would recommend try and limit your drink where you're at the festival, because you're already at a level, you just have to sustain that level, right? So make sure you just keep drinking water, even diet sodas, right? To like make sure you stay hydrated, which is super important. Always stay hydrated during your festival. But then you already have that level, so you just have to stay on the level. You don't have to have too many drinks, and that will save a lot on the calories. Before the festival, you try and eat only proteins and vegetables. Make sure you're nice and satiated, like you're full, fulfilled, by just eating a shitload of protein, right? You want to try and literally get in most of your daily protein intake before you hit the festival, so that you're nice and fulfilled, and then at the festival you can have something nice. But when you drink alcohol, I don't recommend eating too much. Well, those are empty calories. Those calories will stack up really quickly, so you can definitely not eat the same amount as you can when you are sober. And then when you go back home afterwards, you eat protein again. Only protein usually, because the calories will make up for the other macros. So then we have the next one, which is using drugs, and there are obviously a lot of different types of drugs. I'm not gonna get into this. As I said, like I don't promote it. I don't talk about it. Like it's all up to you guys what decision you decide to make. I'm just like giving my information on what you can do best for your diet and for your training, as far as the approach you decide to take. So for that, I do recommend actually eating a lot of food, not just protein, but also a lot of carbohydrates. carbohydrates and some fats as well before you go to the festival, because the thing there is mostly you do not get hungry afterwards, and you are not hungry throughout the day. You will literally forget about eating, and it will suppress the hunger feeling as well, again depending on what you decide to use, but most of them do, and they have 0 calories. Obviously something completely different than alcohol, right? So if you drink a lot of alcohol, you will automatically have energy. It's obviously like it's a wrong macro, because like it's not a building block of muscle, but it is calories, so it is an energy source. But drugs on the other hand are 0 calories. Like they don't provide you with any calories, so they do not provide you with energy. Well, they do give you energy obviously, because you see people going absolutely nuts on it, but that is a different kind of energy. So it literally pulls energy from your body and not from a certain energy source. So if you do not provide your body with enough nutrients to work on that particular day, you're literally gonna do so many steps, you're gonna be dancing, you're gonna be talking all day, you're gonna be jumping around. If you did not eat on that whole day and you forget about eating and you don't eat before, you literally don't have any protein in your system, your body is definitely gonna take some of that energy away, not only fat but also muscle mass, and mostly just like it's just like an attack on your body to really not have energy and then decide to use a lot of energy, right? So if you want to avoid that, like losing strength and feeling like that, you have to make sure also that you get enough sleep afterwards, obviously, but you have to make sure that you eat enough before you hit the festival, because you might just not eat all day. Also here, make sure to stay hydrated, #1 rule, and I'll refer you guys here to a very good pre-festival meal, because this is actually a blender shake, so it's like liquid food, because that is way easier to take in. You don't want to be bloated before you go to the festival, so I recommend liquid calories. I actually put a link here down below for a big shake. It is like a weight gainer shake, but that's something you could use on a festival day. So those are some of my recommendations. And then when you get home, same thing, you definitely want to eat. So if you did something and you're not able to eat after you get home, maybe then in the morning you should actually eat, and then you should save that blender shake if you know that you're like that, because that is a side effect of whatever you could be using. Then make sure to have that shake. And that's the simple thing about liquid calories, you can always like drink them away and kind of like force yourself to eat. That may sound really weird, force feeding, but in this case that is definitely the right solution and something you would have to do if you want to maintain your gains. Make sure you don't lose gains, and make sure you stay healthy in the whole process of doing all this. Alcohol and drugs, they are already an attack on your body. Don't make it any worse. Make sure your diet is on point so that at least you battle it in some way. That is my take on it for now. For everybody that was wondering, if you have any more questions, leave them down below. If there are a lot of questions, I might like address this in a separate video, but I think I've done pretty well, so let me know. One more thing I want to address in today's video, because I know you guys are gonna spam the comment section, because that's actually what's been happening. Because Willem made a video together with Greg, Kino Body. Some of you will definitely notice, and some of you asked me to address it because there were a lot of comments on his video. Obviously me and Willem talked about it. Our first thing we said was people just always try and find drama somewhere where there is really nothing going on. But that is just the way it is, especially on the internet. But I don't want any drama on my channel. I'm not about that life. You guys know that. So that's why I am addressing it on camera as well, so that we can like completely shut that up. And with that said, on one hand, I do appreciate you guys really like looking out for me, and you guys like appreciating me and making sure that there's no like rumors around me or like no things that are not right. So I do appreciate that in a way, but at the same time, it's not always right. Like you guys don't like see the whole story, so sometimes people might be commenting things that they don't know anything about. So here's the story. All right, so Greg made a video together with Willem about a month ago in which they were training together, and he made a video as well about like Willem following his program, which indeed Willem is doing at the moment. He's following Greg's program instead of my program, even though I obviously made a video before where I started working together with Willem. Now, it is obviously not a big deal, in my opinion, that someone follows a different program. I've been training for 7 years now, and I follow different training splits throughout the years. Willem is training 3 times a week right now, which is an approach that Greg does a lot as well. So that is like a program he's following now. And you have to realize that Willem shot me a DM about a year ago, but he actually found out about me through Greg's channel, because that's the channel he watched first. On that channel, he found out about intermittent fasting. Through my channel, he found out more about not only intermittent fasting, but also if it fits your macros. We started working together as me writing a fitness program for him, but then we became great friends. Like we had this connection, and like over the months, we've only seen each other like friendship-wise, right? We've just been hanging out. Our girlfriends are also really good friends with each other. So it's just like a really good time. And next to that, I also give him some fitness advice. Willem is his own person. He's very curious. He wants to learn a lot about things. He learned a lot of stuff from me. He learned stuff from Greg. He learns stuff from, he searches online. He learns stuff from other people, and he puts it together. Willem found his channel before mine, learned about fasting through him, which is awesome because now after years, he was finally able to meet him. So for him, that was actually a really big moment, and that was really cool for him. And in the period that me and Willem were working together, he got amazing results. He looked absolutely sick, I can say. And now he's just trying out a different approach, which is obviously fine. Like, we all want different stuff. He's very curious. He wants to learn more about things. He wants to try different shit, which is what we all should do in life. Never stick to one approach. Try out many. I want you guys to understand that me and Willem were friends, and I help him out with diet advice and training advice and tips, and he still asks me advice now, even though he might be on Greg's program and trying out that routine. Like, it's fully normal to try out different routines and different splits. So long story short, there's no bad blood between anyone. No one stole anyone's clients. No one has a fight or argument or whatever it is, guys. We're all living our lives, and I think some of you should do that a little bit more instead of worry about other people, which is what happens a lot, I feel, on the internet. And like, people just come up with all these things with like drama that is really non-existent. And so if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, let me know what you want to see next, all that stuff. Subscribe to the channel. It's a beautiful day out here. I'm happy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.